we are, because I looked at the numbers. I saw It's About Time, 3 million. You know, you do 80% of the album. You do 4 tracks out of 17, because I know by the mid 90s people were doing 17, 20 tracks and interludes, but you only did 4.
On It's About Time I did 6 tracks.
It's About Time. I went and saw that either writing or producing.
Let's go through them. Let's go through them. Watch this. Week. We're gonna count. Week.
Yeah.
I Was Into You. Think You're Gonna Like It. Always on My Mind. Right Here. And one more. That's What I Need. 6. And actually it's 7, because I did co-produced and co-wrote, produced Sisters and Voices in the House. So really it's 7, but 6 of my own compositions. And then a 7th is a co-write.
7 is
really 6, and then 7 with
Anything
with
I'm So Into You, Right Here.
Oh, I forgot anything. No, it is. It's 8.
Yeah.
It is 8.
Yeah, you're always on my mind.
It's 8. I forgot anything. I always forget anything. Yeah, it is. It is. It's 8. It's 8.
Yeah, you did 8, and then you had the and so then there was the week a cappella, which was out of the 14, which was sort of 14 tracks. The week a cappella.
8 solid joints. 8 solid joints. Yes.
Yeah. Then you did on the album you had SWV in the House.
Right. That's a co-write.
Okay, with Coco, I think. Yeah, but as I said, you did. I did. That's why I said 8, 9. So yeah, so you did out of this whole stuff. They're coming with the new beginning. Do they not want to be in the studio with you anymore? They're thinking, man, you made all the money, look at your big house, and we're still living. And they were, was it?
No, because they knew better than that, because they couldn't just go in there. Once you establish a sound, you can't not use the sound. But what they were trying to do was show me that we don't need you. Like, so that's why you got them All-Star doing it. But thank God All-Star and I are friends. And he was as happy to make money off my songs as anything. He'll tell you right now, I send his kids to college off of the remix, the Anything remix and the and Right Here Human Nature. He's done very well. And he got a big deal, his own production deal based on doing those remixes. So we're good. But he did it the right way. He did something dope, and people heard what he could do, and then he parlayed it from there. What they tried to do was stifle me after I'd done something great for them. Yeah, it was like, but hold back, and now we're gonna go to this guy because he was able to deliver on these remixes. Maybe he can deliver, and they did. I love "You're the One" is my joint. I love that joint.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so that's okay. You're the One.
But how do you not put out a Fine Time, right?
Yeah, so as I said, because they went to Neptunes, they even went to they
went to a lot of people. Troy Taylor.
Yeah. So
Eric Sermon.
Yeah, Faith and Chucky. Yeah.
Faith and Chucky, all friends of mine. We all people. Trust me, we all. The writer community is solid. We saw what was happening, but guess what? I knew that I wrote some solid stuff for them. What's it gonna be? Fine Time. That's what I'm here for. Solid tunes. And
but whose decision was it to? Because I thought the label makes a decision as to what singles get released, unless you were big.
Well, they did, but I mean, by that time, I think the management she was fraying relationships within them, the girls themselves. So it was all bad. Like, it was just all bad. Like, so their relationship with me soured when I realized they weren't going to release any of my singles. That's like a slap in the face when I had all the hits from the first album. So I wasn't looking like, like I wanted to be there myself. I started writing for other people. I was like, let me get down with other people. I started to go in with Brandy, and my mind was elsewhere. I wrote Rain for Brandy. It was already about to cut it on her when RCA intervened and asked for it to be on SWV. After they did, now we're on the third album.
Yeah, no, but so could you see when they were recording that the vibe? I mean, the times have changed. But
yeah, they were trying to force them to write on my stuff. Like, it was like literally putting pen and paper in front of them and saying, "Okay, Brian has this idea, but y'all write something on it." And that's not how magic happens. Just let me tell you.
Were they doing it to the other writers? Is it just Brian that they wanted to?
No, of course they were. Well, they were trying to. But I mean, if you're not really writers like that, it's not going to work, no matter who's producing it. So, but Pharrell didn't need nobody to co-write "Use Your Heart," except him and Chad. So just like I didn't need nobody to co-write my joints. So the whole concept of doing that is the point is that it's a forced, unnatural, unorganic thing to do, just so you can try to be participating in the publishing, and it was a whack vibe. Period.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
And the album just went platinum. So they pushed it out. It didn't do as well.
Right.
When that was when you could see the sales not going up, what's on your mind? Were you happy? I mean,
what was on my mind at that time? Layla Hathaway, Usher, and everything else that I was working on at that moment. I was like, I can't put my eggs all in that one basket. I learned that, and I was glad I did learn that, because I was like, yo, even if Usher or Layla don't sell records, I'm still getting paid to produce these records. So that was my bread and butter, is just working, period. You never know what the records are going to really do. Yeah. So if you could just keep working, this is the point.
Yeah.
I'm still working now, baby. All these years later.
No, we're going to get that. But by the third album, though, you released some tension. You only had Rain. And I was like, wow, what's and
I didn't want to be on there. I did not want to be on that album at all. They kind of begged me to put that on there, because I was, like I said, it was going to be for Brandy, and we were already cutting it, and I had gotten paid to do it on Brandy from Brandy's label.
Wow.
It got intercepted by Rodney Jerkins, who was in charge of her record at the time. It was the album that Boy Is Mine is on.
Yeah, yeah.
And he just chose to not have it on there. And so I got a call saying, okay, well, we, even though we paid you to write that, because I got a little 4-song writing deal from Sylvia Rohn at that time, at Brandy's label Atlantic. And that was one of the 3 songs I wrote for Brandy. So I literally got paid to write that for her. And then we started to cut it in New York at P. Diddy's studio. And then we got shut down the next day, like, yo, it's a no-go. Rodney's, we're not going to use it. And so RCA called, and they already knew. They were like, please, we can't have a whole album without Brian Alexander Morgan on there. Can we please get this tune? And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll cut it. And so that's how we ended up cutting Rain.
But how was it in the studio after all this? Was it tension in the studio?
Isn't it ironic the album is called Release Some Tension? It was tension all over the place, man. I think, and that's, you know what? The funny thing is, Coco recorded her thing completely and utterly separate from them on that. So I don't know what. I think Coco had been pissed off at Missy or something. Like they had just recorded "Can We?" For that, with Timbaland and Miss, and something had happened because I remember that Missy invited me to her video shoot, to the video for "I Can't Stand the Rain," her first single. So, but she said, only bring Taj and Lily. I was like, what? She said, yeah, only bring Taj and Lily, because she was gonna let them be in a cameo at the end of the video. If you look at the end of the video, they are. It's a cameo. 702's in there. It's a lot of cameos at the end of that video. So I remember cutting Coco at Right Track Studios one day, and then the next day I cut Taj and Lily's backgrounds to Rain at Electric Lady, Jimi Hendrix studio down in the Village. And then we took a cab over to Missy Elliott's video set to do the Rain. So all this Rain, huh? Check it out.
Goodness. Yeah, that's wow. I mean, but for yourself, as I think that, going back, you said Rodney said no, we don't want Brian's track on it. Did he listen to it? So, I mean, did
he
you?
Loved it. He loved it. He loved it. He loved it. He loved it. I think he just didn't want it. It didn't fit his vision of what he was trying to do on Brandy at the time. Rodney was making a statement with Brandy's album, a Rodney Jerkins Dark Child whole entire statement. He had been given the reins, if you will.
Okay.
So he had power to say yay or nay.
Wow.
And he just, kind of. It
wasn't anything personal. It was more like, look, this is what I'm trying to do and stuff.
I don't know. I wasn't in his mind, but I know this. He didn't want it on there because it wasn't a Rodney Jerkins joint. So if it's not on there, then everybody's talking about everything else that ain't, I'm not a factor. He made me a non-factor, put it that way. Okay. And it was, at the time I was slightly devastated because I really loved Brandy and I wanted her to sing that. But it was the best thing that ever happened because Coco now, after that energy that we had on that second album where it was like not so great in the studio,
yeah,
she came to sing on Rain, baby. That's what she gave me everything. And she even had a cold and she still delivered. And she was a sweetheart on that vocal record. And I remember I just was thinking, wow, she's never been this nice and sweet in the studio before. This is amazing. She gave me the delivery that I wanted. I didn't want it to sound like weak. I didn't want it to sound like any of those old things. I wanted it to be different.
yeah.
And her level of sexiness on Rain is, I still to this day. That's why so many. Have you noticed like it's really a viral thing right now? All these kids and everybody, all these new generations are singing it on TikTok and shit. Man, bro, Rain has never left. And then it came back in the form of Pulling Me Back, a hit record for Tyrese and Chingy. It's out right now on a Rick Ross record right now called Summer Rain. It's crazy. Chris Brown's got a new one dropping in a couple of weeks using Rain. I mean, it ended up being the biggest thing. I think it's bigger than Weak in a lot of ways for me because it keeps coming back over and over and over. Pulling Me Back was a top 10 hip hop record in 2008. So, you know, I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Or 2006, whatever it was.
Thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, but most importantly, to press the notification bell so that you can be notified when we do have a new interview. Loads to come, but thanks a lot for watching.